Good morning. The City of Gary Department of Public Parks Board of Commissioners meeting for the date of Tuesday, February 25th at 10 a.m. is now in session. Let the record reflect that there was an executive session held and that there were no issues discussed other than what was published in the memo regarding the executive session. Roll call.
Commissioner Patterson,
Present.
Vice President Cook,
Present.
President Garner.
Present. We have a quorum and will continue. We'll now have our Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And let me do this properly. Pursuant to Indiana Code 5-14-1.5D, the Board of Commissioners of the Gary Park Department hereby certifies that it discussed no subject in the executive session other than the subject matter specified in the public notice. I will now address your attention to the minutes. Are there any questions regarding the minutes?
I have none.
No.
Then I'll entertain a motion that we would approve the minutes as presented.
I move for passage, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Roll call.
Commissioner Patterson,
Yes.
Vice President Cook,
Yes.
President Garner.
Yes. Motion is carried. I would now address your attention to the claims listing for the dates of January 2nd through February 21st, 2025. Are there any questions?
I'd like to know what Arctic did for us that totaled $23,086.31. Is there anyone who can answer that question?
So, that was work on Marquette Park Pavilion. And they had problems with their boiler.
Okay.
Yeah, for 23,000, you put a new boiler in.
Right. So what I could do, if you like, I could pull those invoices and we can revisit that if you would like.
Okay.
Okay.
Wilma, would you like to chime in on that if you know something?
I don't think she was here.
She was in fact, getting his attention.
The reason
Good morning.
why, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. The reason why it is so high, those were past due invoices that needed to be cleared in order for us to move forward with work that has to be done in the pavilion. That is why it's so high.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay?
So it's not just one.
It's not just,
It's a
No,
combination of
It's
things.
a combination of things.
Okay.
I would still like a breakdown though, as to what the outstanding invoices were, what their amount was, so that we got a clear picture of exactly what was done.
Sure.
And also, is that a budgeted item or does that keep us in the black or?
So the past invoices that were taken care of should bring us up to current. And all our services has been reinstated with Arctic.
Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, those invoices were from 2023 as well as 2024. So So I was able to work with the finance department to get us all up to code, current.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions?
I have none.
Then I will entertain a motion that we would approve the claims as presented.
So moved, Mr.
Second.
Chair.
Roll call?
Commissioner Patterson,
Yes.
Vice President Cook,
Yes.
President Garner,
Yes. Motion is carried. That leads us to our legal report.
Thank you, Pastor. We have several Youth Services Bureau contracts today. One is for Dance Excel. And Johnny's not in here yet. But again, that is an after-school program. And they provide, of course, dance instruction for the young people. That is not to exceed $3,000.
Any questions from board members? Then I'll entertain a motion that we would approve the contract for Youth Services Bureau with Dance Excel for the after-school program not to exceed
Do
$3,000.
you have a copy of it? I didn't.
I don't have a copy of it in my.
No.
They're just giving us the copies of, so they're gonna have to get us some copies so you guys can sign those today.
Okay, all right, then, I'd like to move for passage, Mr. Chair.
Second?
Roll call?
Commissioner Patterson,
Yes.
Vice President Cook,
Yes.
President Garner,
Yes. Now I want to back up for payroll. We inadvertently skipped payroll. I would address your attention to the payroll report for the date of February 7th.
Oh, I had some more, Pastor. I got a couple more.
Oh, okay, we'll finish you and then
Okay,
we'll
yeah.
back up, okay,
I
all
got a little
right.
distracted.
Okay.
All right. The next one is for home mentoring and tutoring, and same type of program. It's a program for the young people after school program, and of course, it's for tutoring and mentoring classes. And all of these groups we have worked with before in the past. I believe the first contract I did was back in 2023. So it's just an extension of that, and this is not to exceed $3,000 either.
Okay.
Any questions from board members?
No,
I have none.
here.
Then I'll entertain a motion that we would approve the contract with home mentoring and tutoring not to exceed $3,000.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second?
The next one is for Schuler's Boxing Stable Athletics. And again, that is a program not to exceed $3,000, and it's for the contractor to teach boxing classes. And again, that would be an after-school program. And possibly, I believe, they may extend into the summer. So I just did the contracts from January to December. And it's
And the name of the company again is?
Schuler's Boxing Stable Athletics.
I'll also entertain a motion that we would approve Schuler Boxing and Athletics after-school program not to exceed $3,000.
So moved.
Second?
And the last one, as it relates to YSB, is for Bridge the Gap. Bridging the Gap is also a tutoring and mentoring program. We have worked with them in the past, and that one also is not to exceed $3,000.
I'll entertain a motion that we would approve the contract with Bridging the Gap for after-school services not to exceed $3,000.
Move for passage.
Second?
Now, the last one is for Shore Marina, and
Okay, let me do this. So all of those are one package,
all of those are YSB.
and so we've gotten a motion and a second on all of them.
Okay.
Now I need a roll call vote on that whole YSB package. Roll call.
Commissioner Patterson,
Yes.
Vice President Cook,
Yes.
President Garner,
Yes. All of the YSB packages, Youth Services Bureau request as a package are approved.
The next one, and you may need some discussion about this one, is for the Bowie contract, is for Shore Marina. And the contract is $27,000, $27,200, and that's a not to exceed. However, I have to advise the board that the previous contracts, the last 2 years were about $21,000. So this is about a $6,000 increase.
Do we know why?
I have no idea.
We can
So
ask our
Tawana.
Okay. It is a tremendous jump.
Yeah.
Good Good morning.
Good morning.
So the difference is, you remember doing the air show about 2 years ago when they first brought it back? Dan Bakari bought us the extra buoys and the extra parts. We used up all the extra chains, we still have the extra buoys. So the price increase is from the chains and the clevises that goes on the bottom. So we lost a lot of those with the buoys breaking off. So we are still good on buoys, but the extra equipment to go with it is where the extra price came from.
Are there any alternatives? Have we priced out any alternatives to?
You know, that's, Shore Marina has been the only,
The monopoly.
yeah, we've tried to go to other places, tried to talk to the people in Chicago, and unfortunately, he's the only person to deal with Lake Michigan
Them
around
too,
here.
huh?
Yes,
Okay.
because he has a no compete clause
I
in
see.
the contract. So everybody who will do it, because we've already worked with him, they can't compete against him. So we cannot leave him to go to somebody else. So we kind of.
And are our prices commensurate with what he's, I mean,
Yes,
I
so-
know our,
It's no
Like it's-
huge upcharge with the prices he's given us. So the chains, they have gone up strictly just because of the economy.
okay.
But it's not a huge markup that he's doing. I will say that much. What I have visited is maybe we buy our own chains and give them to him, but that's something else we would have to discuss later.
Are there any other questions from board members? And what is the name of the company again?
It's the Shore Marina,
South Shore.
South Shore Marina.
Then I'll entertain a motion that we would approve the contract with South Shore Marina for buoy repair, placement, and retrieval of buoys at the end of the season at Marquette Beach.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Roll call?
Commissioner Harrison?
Yes.
Vice President Cook?
Yes.
President Garner?
Yes.
And that concludes my legal report. Thank you.
Motions are carried. Administrative reports, aquatics.
We're gonna
Oh,
go back to payroll.
Payroll.
oh yes, we gotta go back to payroll. I gotta pay these people, okay? All right. There were only two payouts in terms of overtime in this report. They were for the Miller Prom. Are there any questions?
I have none.
None here.
Then I will entertain a motion that we would approve the payroll as presented.
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Harrison?
Yes.
Vice President Cook?
Yes.
President Garner?
Yes, motion is carried. Administrative reports, aquatics.
Hello again.
Good morning.
So besides the little hiccup with the buoys, we have great news. We actually just found it out this morning. You know, we normally use Calumet Pool. I had already started talking to the athletic director and the coach there. We, again, can use Calumet's pool this year for training. We will need the $1 million liability insurance policy that we always get. Great news is it's already paid for because we paid for it last year and it's a year's coverage. So we're good to go now. I have to report that back to the coach and their athletic director, and we can start class. So, great news with that part. The other thing, currently, I am working on getting my certifications so we can move forward with the swim club that I want to do. So I'm excited about that as well. My wonderful director over here keeps smiling at me. She's working on getting the funding for my guards. I currently have all 4 of my head guard positions filled, and I have 7 of the lifeguard 2 positions filled.
Excellent.
So
Good
we
job.
are moving in a great direction.
Great, great. Any questions from board members?
Yeah, what does that $1 million policy cost us these days?
Normally around 6,000 to 7,000. I can get the exact number for you because we had the previous.
No, the
invoice.
ballpark is fine. Just-
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to know for my edification.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, that's good work, thank you. Hudson Campbell.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Few things. Revenue is up 10%. I passed out our report, so we up 10% compared to last year. Just a friendly reminder, we're still going cashless. So February 28th will be the last day that we'll be accepting cash. We accept Google Pay, Apple Pay, credit cards, checks, money orders, just no physical green cash. Also, I would like to send out a thank you. We had 2 events last week. Hip Hop Cardio had 2 big, large stepping events, and the AKA line dancing, we had that on Friday, so I would like to thank them for using our facility, and it was a nice outcome for both events.
Okay. Any questions from board members?
No, I have none.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marquette Park.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
All right. Maintenance is an ongoing situation at Marquette Park Pavilion. We do have the okay to have the water expansion tank, replacement done. So hopefully between this week, no later than next week, that will be done. And then also we're waiting on a quote for the replacement part for the boiler number 2. There are some contracts that you do need to look at later on because they're coming up. You have that in your report. The Arctic contract has been amended for 2024. That allowed us to move forward. That's why we had that large $23,000 bill. I'd like to say a thank you to Marquette Park Friends and the Miller Garden Club volunteers. Collectively, they gave Marquette Park 11,275.75 hours of volunteer hours. So they also broke it down to worth of $225,515, which saved the Parks Department in all of their volunteer. And I mean, I like Joy Carol Smith to take a stand, because without her dedication and really recording all of this, I have about 5 spreadsheets with detail, with the different areas, the different people, the different hours. That takes a lot of commitment, so I'd really like to thank Carol on that. And later on, she will come to you for their request of the board's consideration. But thank you for allowing me to have this position and try to move us forward in a positive direction. So thank you.
Any questions from board members?
I have none.
Thank you. All right. Park maintenance.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'll be brief today. We've kind of split our team up into 2 different groups. My guys, we've done a deep clean on all the pavilions. We've re-waxed the floors, buffed them. We had a little rodent issue. We've taken care of that abatement, and the pavilions really look nice right now. The other half of the team has been here at Hudson Campbell doing a lot of the renovations here, the painting and things like that. The last thing we're gonna do here until our director finds something else for us to do, but we're gonna wax the main entryway starting tomorrow. So all the locks have been changed, plumbing issues have been taken care of. I have one last thing with the handicap switch in the lobby to remedy, and all that. You know, this is our downtime for our guys, you know, being with snow on the ground and that. So we've been able to get a lot of this stuff done that desperately needed help. Weather permitting, hopefully in the next week or so, we're gonna start in the jewel parks with trash removal and branch pickup that we can do by hand. We really can't get any machinery out there because the ground's too soft yet. But, you know, we're just moving forward, and I can say for my guys in that, we're grateful for this warm weather. We want to get outside.
Okay, questions from board members?
I have several. Don, what's the dumping like? Has that been some sort of a curtailing, or is it still happening?
You know, you just never know. I can say that it's better. Hatcher Park was terrible a couple weeks ago. We've got that cleaned up. You just never know. It's hit or miss. And it seems to always be rehab garbage, somebody, house stuff. It's drywall and computers and clothes, and it's just amazing. But, it's just, there's not.
Is there one park that is hit more heavily?
Hatcher's the worst. Brunswick in the back area there, we cleaned that out totally last year, at the end of last year. You just never know. I mean, we just kind of get the calls and we go and pick it up when we get the call, because you never know when they're gonna strike. And they always go to those places that you can't see, that they're protected.
Okay. My next question, I think you know.
The public access points,
Yes.
still on the schedule. We're gonna work with General Services. What's gonna happen is, the parking lot on Lake Street, all that sand will be removed, and when we're doing all that work together, we're just gonna, they'll have their bigger payloaders out there. It'll help us, it'll help us out. And then we'll be able to use they have two big payloaders, but they'll be able to do that a lot easier than with our little Bobcat. And one other thing today is that one of our guys, Armstrong, and my general foreman, is not here, they were at the Bobcat training. General Services held a Bobcat training this morning, and then we're also trying to get training for wood chippers and stuff like that next week. We have a brand new wood chipper that General Services really doesn't use, because they get the big trees, we get the smaller stuff around the fence line and that, so they've sort of let us take control of that, and that helps us a lot with removing the trees off the fence line and just being able to grind them there, because we don't have the bigger equipment to haul it away all the time. It takes us many loads. And so we're gonna try and get training in that, so that we can just put our dump bed up and put the mulch into the dump bed and save that mulch in that.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Anything else?
Appreciate that.
Thank you. Youth Services Bureau,
Okay. He's off today.
okay. And now our director's report.
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank the Parks Board for taking time out of your busy schedule to come and assist us with the parks business. I also would like to thank all of the parks team for doing such a great job throughout the time that I've been here. Just a report of our Jewel Parks on this Thursday. Don and myself, as well as the contractor, will do a walkthrough of Brunswick Park Pavilion. And I'm also working with Brenda Scott Henry on that land conservation plan to find out exactly where we are and if there's anything else we need to do to bring that project to a close. One of our events that we'll be sharing with the public is Adopt a Park. And we're asking for churches, schools, and community groups to adopt a park. So keep that in mind. We'll be sharing that via the Gary Channel and through churches, schools, and any other public entities. Last but not least, I'm working with Salita Green, the finance director, to complete all of the payments for these dated invoices so that we can start working on our current budget and our current bills. Once again, thank you all for coming out. I do appreciate your expertise, and I look forward to working with you even more. Thank you.
Any questions for our director, for board members?
I had a question, and it's in regards to our pavilions. So I noticed Don said that all the pavilions, they've kind of deep cleaned. I was wondering how the rentals are going and if we've seen an uptake or an increase in pavilion rentals as a result of that.
So I will turn that question to our rental agent.
Okay.
She's more familiar with the renting.
Okay.
Well, since we opened last year, it was a little slow because people didn't know we were open. And we had a lot going on with the shelters. The parks in May through September are really busy with people having reunions and things like that. So now that people know that the pavilions are open, we're having a lot more. We had the regulars who knew, like the Charleston alumni, the Ivanhoe community, and Narcotics Anonymous. They did a lot of renting of the pavilions, but now people are knowing about it. We have a lot of repasses now coming to the pavilions, and lately we're gonna crank into graduation time, so there'll be a lot of open houses. So from May until September, they'll be doing that kind of thing. So it's starting to pick up.
Thank you.
We had discussion on an actual grand opening or public opening of our jewel parks. I would like for us to have scheduled that event, or at least a report out on it at our next meeting. So we need to take a look at the calendar and decide when we're going to do that. Maybe we'll work with Don in terms of, first grass cutting, trimming, or whatever we need to do in conjunction with that, so we can put our best foot forward and actually schedule some ribbon cuttings at the different pavilions.
Yes, Don and I were talking about that this morning. We would like for the temperature, of course, to go up some because we plan to plant greenery and flowers at those pavilions, as well as put some mulch out there so we can beautify the area. And of course, a ribbon cutting is in order.
Okay.
I have a question regarding Brunswick. I see that Mr. Pruitt's not here, but can Don offer us any explanation in terms of where we are with Brunswick?
So
I cannot.
that's why we're scheduled for a walkthrough on tomorrow, so we can see exactly where we are with the park pavilion.
Okay. Did we receive a report on the concession stand at Roosevelt? There was some questions about that. Mr. Pruitt was supposed to, he's not here. I don't know if he turned anything.
Unfortunately, he has not, but I will contact him and ask him to have that prepared for our next board meeting.
Okay.
Or if you can get some information from him prior to, I would appreciate it. Yeah, just disseminate it to us upon receipt.
Sure.
Alrighty.
Is our website up to date as far as the pavilions are concerned and the availability of rentals as well as any other aspects of the park?
We do have some old business on there, but we're working to change all of that out.
Okay.
soon. Yeah.
Keep us posted on that as well, because a lot of people go to the website to find out updated information on our parks.
Sounds good.
Okay, Madam Superintendent?
Okay, that would be all. I know Don did kind of elaborate on the cleaning and the painting in our different facilities, but as he did state, this is downtime. For us, there's no snow. We are not cutting grass right now, so we're inside taking care of matters that need to be addressed. So I do greatly appreciate Don and his team for such a great job that they're doing in our facilities. So once again, thank you. I do appreciate the extra efforts that's going on in Hudson Campbell and throughout the parks pavilions.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Public comment.
Sandy O'Brien.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
I wanted to say something about Brunswick and the trash dumping. Oh, Sandy O'Brien.
There we go.
I wanted to say something about Brunswick Park and the trash dumping. And I don't know how many park superintendents ago this was, but it was agreed in the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service that the park department would install a fencing thing between the, to block off that south entrance where everybody dumps. And they have, at least as of last fall, they had $1,860 some still in their budget to be spent on that. The thing was, the park department was supposed to do the work, and Fish and Wildlife was gonna pay for the supplies. So, I hope that's still in order. I don't know with the new Trump administration, how that's going. And fire breaks, minor fire break mowing needs to be done at Brunswick also for the contractor who was supposed to burn Brunswick last spring, but didn't because they got the permit so late. And then the fall burn season, the fire breaks weren't mowed, and it really wasn't such a great burn season anyway. But now it really needs to be burned because the permit's gonna expire. And the contract for them to burn it is going to expire too, I expect. So that burning would be paid for by Speedway, and it's quite a good gift. It's for the mitigation that was done at that park, which started with Lori Latham. That tells you how long ago that was.
Wow.
Okay, and at Marquette Park, it looks like there are good burning days Friday and Monday for Marquette Park, which I hope the weather will hold and it'll be good for burning and we can get it done.
We already have the permits for that.
We have the permits, but they're gonna expire, so we're under the gun to get the burning done before the permits expire there too.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Carol Smith.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Ms. Smith.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah,
Good day to
it
be out in the
is.
parks.
Yes.
My name is Carol Smith. Over front? Okay. The Dolly Harris with the pavilion, Market Park Pavilion, received a bid from Great Lakes Electric for $5,005
Can I call you right?
and
Still in
5
this part,
cents.
man.
And the Market Park Board, Friends of Market Park, agreed to pay for half of that and get the project started. The only issue we have is that we have 2 small bills that you've approved to pay. I can't remember the amounts right now, but they're in the minutes of a previous meeting, about 2 meetings ago. I can get that to you, Ms. Fitzgerald, if you need it. We'd like to see those get finished up through payroll. They have contacted us and asked for, to set up an account with them, so we're hoping that it continues to move forward. I have no idea how long that takes, but once that's done, we will make the initial payment to Great Lakes LTD to begin replacing the lights around the pavilion, the little bollard lights on the walkway.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you. We can
Okay.
take over now.
Yes, first I would like to thank Sandy and as well as the Marquette Club. I would need those invoices so we can pay those. And we do appreciate you guys for exactly what you're doing at Marquette. Okay.
Tom Rodney.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'm Tom Rooney. I'm a member of the executive committee of the Miller Beach Water Safety Social Group. And just wanted to say from our group, welcome to the new director. Sorry?
You step back just a little bit. Thank
you. And so I think you probably are somewhat aware of what we're doing. We're maintaining these safety stations along the stretch of the shoreline. We've been deploying yard signs with messaging and we've also rolled out a life jacket loaner program this last season and all that with your gracious permission, and we appreciate that, and so we're hoping to continue to do that. And we're also interested in coordinating with the parks on the new life rings that are to be deployed, and we're not sure when that is, but that kind of has us held up because all of this is sponsor-based, and we've got a cycle on that, and so we would like to continue to support some of that equipment and work that out, and so I'm not sure what the time frame on that is.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna ask you to get together with Don, and you guys can discuss it, and you let us know what we need to do.
And the T-shirts,
Yes,
we like the T-shirts.
well, thank you, yes.
No, he said we would like.
You would like a t-shirt,
Yeah.
right? Well, we will work that out. We'll make sure that happens, so, yeah. All right, well, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Tom. I would also like for you to speak with our aquatics director here as well.
Certainly will,
Okay.
and we have.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
And that's all I have right now, that's signed up.
Okay. Just as a courtesy, there may be someone who came in a little late and really wanted to address the park board, and so even though you didn't get to sign up, if you want to address us because you missed the sign-up period, you can do so. Just come forward and tell us who you are. Mhm.
And can you stand by the flag, please?
There we go.
Thank you.
My name is Mary Ann Best, and I have been with the Water Safety Social Group and with Friends of Marquette Park. I'm on the co-chair for the Shoreline Committee. And this year we have created a new nonprofit called Blue Flow Great Lakes. It's to be able to take water safety programming and expand a little bit outside of just Marquette Park and Miller, to bring in the greater city of Gary and additional communities. So we will be focusing again on the visitor center. We collaborate with them so that as people come to the visitor center, they learn about water safety, they learn about coming to the different beaches, including Marquette Park. We are hoping to collaborate and do a 3-clinic on the beach program that I'd like to talk to you about very soon. We've got a lot of that planned and organized, but really just to introduce you to Blue Flow Great Lakes, and I'll share additional information with you soon. I can email you some information.
Okay, any questions? Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Our Youth Service Bureau Director came in. I would like for him to give his report, please.
Okay, come right ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Excuse my tardiness. Before you today, it was a few contracts. These contracts were for professional services for a few youth entities that we would like to add to our repertoire. Those were being with Bridging the Gap. We're allowing tutoring services for youth, as well as home mentoring services, which will allow several youth in the city to, of course, if you don't have transportation, they'll come to your home. I'm a mentor you not only in tutoring, but also in mentoring for young ladies and for young gentlemen. Shula Boxing, who has been an entity in the Hudson County, I believe, for the past 5 years now, or probably even longer, to offer boxing services for some of our youth. Minka Karate is another one that we won't add. His contract was probably not on the table today, but Minka Karate was also a part of those entities. And for the public's knowledge, for any youth that would like to be a part of these programs, it's an income guideline for low to moderate income youth. They can fill out an application with these particular entities themselves. You can contact Bridging the Gap and Home Mentoring Services and Shula Boxing to register your youth for these activities. And then, of course, fill out the application for the income guidelines. If you have any questions, please call 219-881-5270. We can answer those questions for you. We also mentioned in our last meeting, I wasn't here, excuse my absence as well, but for March 7th was supposed to be our food pantry day to release the food to the community for, I believe, First District was our first one. That has been pushed back to another date in April. The date that the food bank proposed was April 22nd. I believe that we're going to lock that in for the April 22nd date. And from there, it will be additional 5 series of food pantries to touch every district in the city. The food bank did say that it will service 18,000 residents. So that's something that we can be proud about. That is going to be set to be released April 22nd to feed those youth within those communities. Not just youth, it's the families in those communities. So more information will be coming out about that. Of course, a flyer will be sent out or posted on the City of Gary's page. For you all be aware to how these series of food pantries will happen. This is being done out of a grant that we received from the Indiana Health Department. This grant, of course, would allow us, of course, to pay for these services to combat food insecurity here in Northwest Indiana, here in Gary. So we were one of the recipients in this city, of course, to combat that. And that is how we are looking to fully expand those dollars. Our youth excursions that are coming up. Of course, I wasn't here the last meeting, of course, again, but of course, we had an individual who was willing to do tennis with our youth, getting that program up and running. A golf program to get our youth educated on the game of golf. We don't have a golf course, but we're in conversations with community partners, of course, will allow us to use their courses and their tracks to train our Gary youth on the game of golf. The basketball camp, we have reached out to a WNBA star who hosts an annual camp. She had a 4th camp, but we want that 5th annual camp to be homed here at the Hudson Campbell, or an entity here within the city of Gary, to host that annual camp for young ladies that learn in the game of basketball. Same thing with the football. Reaching out to an NBA star. We're still waiting on some responses and ironing out some of those details in the proposal that we sent over. But we're comfortable in to say that these things will happen here in the city of Gary, and we'll have more to report in our next meeting.
Any questions from board members?
Sounds energetic and thorough. So
Thank you.
keep up the good work.
How many kids are you
With that
servicing,
program,
or is it open?
it's open. So of course, we are, of course, paying for these out of HUD dollars that we receive from community development. So there's a limited amount of funds that we do have, but we are looking to spend every single dollar. So as many kids that the money would allow, and then as soon as we reach that, money amount, of course, the program has to shut down until we are reapplying for the next additional funding that is coming in. And we want to continue to look for money sources so we can be able to sustain these programs and initiatives that we're looking to do. That's one of the things that I did forget to mention. We are also working on being accredited as a youth services bureau through the Indiana Youth Association. We want, of course, for our badge to be on the website as a youth services bureau here in the city of Gary. The only youth services bureau that is here that is accredited is the Crisis Center in Miller. And of course, we want to be on the same status as them and receive additional funding from the state, of course, to do the things that we would like to do here within the city of Gary, Youth Services Bureau.
So is there a number of youth that you need to meet in order to be accredited? I guess that's what I'm getting at.
So it's not a number of youth, it's just the programs that we provide. So if we work that number out to be between 25 and 50, just to lowball it, we'll still be within standards. It's whatever we put in the contract to formulate this contractual agreement with the state to be a youth services bureau. So as long as we have youth in our building, we're providing services, we can be accredited.
Well, I'm glad to see your aggressive stance on attracting youth. I'm just hoping that they're taking advantage
Absolutely.
of all of these programs that are available to them.
Absolutely. And we also are leaning on the understanding of the athletic directors at these schools as well to
Yes.
encourage them.
That's
right?
good.
And partner with them. We have athletic departments, and some entities that would like to expand their athletic departments and maybe and potentially add on tennis teams and golf teams and soccer teams. So we're going to continue to do our efforts in ensuring that we're exposing our kids to all these different avenues of sports and recreation for them to add these programs to their repertoire.
So hopefully, in addition to the school system,
Yes.
you're using our church face
Absolutely.
to also, make them aware, because a lot of times it's lack of awareness that these programs do exist,
Absolutely.
that you don't get the attendance that you're looking for.
Absolutely. We will send the first flyer to First Baptist for sure.
Okay. I wasn't pushing for that, but that's fine.
This past year, the state of Indiana has added flag football
Yes.
now as a high school sanctioned sport.
Absolutely.
And I believe there are like 26 public schools or 26 school systems in Indiana now that are organizing for flag football.
Absolutely.
We did a soccer camp last year that was pretty successful through Youth Services Bureau. I'd like for you to look into and maybe envision a flag football camp.
Absolutely.
That we could possibly do, if not in the summer, in the early fall, maybe. And I'm going to be reaching out to our public school entity to see how, maybe we can get on board with that at the grade school level.
Absolutely.
And then move it forward.
Absolutely. Madam Director can speak to this as well. A school reached out to us, of course, about them expanding into that flag football league that they have and want to utilize some of the space that we own to, of course, create fields and areas for this flag football for outside. So, of course, as we continue to work out these contracts with our community partners, so of course, to bridge that gap between city and school municipalities to ensure that we can curate a program for all ages. Correct. Flag football for sure.
Didn't you report on that I want to say you reported on that last summer?
Yes.
That you were anticipating a flag football camp, because at that time we identified that in 2028 flag football would be an Olympic sport.
Absolutely.
In Los Angeles.
Absolutely. As well as pickleball. I know they
pickleball.
established the game of pickleball across the country, but of course we have residents to come into our facilities to participate in the game of pickleball, which we wanted to, of course, I believe that the plan was to turn some of our tennis courts into pickleball courts. Not sure if that's still the plan, but if we continue to go in that fashion, of course, that'll be another recreational program that we would add, a part of our youth excursion, sports excursion.
I believe Roosevelt Park is scheduled, along with the skating rink, to have pickleball courts.
And also Charleston.
And also Charleston.
Wonderful. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any closing comments or remarks from board members?
None here.
I have none.
Madam Superintendent?
Thank you.
Okay. Then I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
A second? Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
But to create a sense of pride and attachment to where you live. Be on the lookout for more information on how to get involved. By establishing partnerships with local organizations, residents, businesses, churches, non-for-profits, we'll truly create a neighborhood where even you will love your block.
Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Mayor Eddie Melton of the great city of Gary, Indiana, and I'm sending a special invitation out to each and every one of you to join me on March 6th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at St. Timothy's Church in Gary, Indiana, at 1600 West 25th Avenue. This is going to be a night where we're going to inform the public on our proposal between the city of Gary and the Hard Rock Casino for the Lake County Convention Center that's going to happen right here in this city. As state senator, I fought very hard to get Senate Bill 434 passed. And this Senate bill that passed almost 2 years ago will give us the opportunity to have this great economic engine right here in the city of Gary. This will yield multiple jobs, increase our tax base and opportunities to bring economic vitality in the city of Gary. Join us on March 6th. From 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at St. Timothy's Church right here in the city of Gary. And I want to thank Pastor Jackson and the entire congregation of St. Timothy's Church for allowing us to be with you on that night. God bless.
Recycling at home is easy and helps keep our city clean and sustainable. But what can you actually recycle? Let's break it down. Paper and fiber. Yes, you can recycle. Newspapers, office paper, magazines, books, file folders, junk mail, glossy paper, and envelopes. Just toss them in. But remember, no shredded paper as it can't be sorted properly. Flatten those cardboard boxes and cereal boxes before recycling. But no greasy pizza boxes, those go in the trash. Aluminum cans, tin cans, and even pie tins can be recycled, but make sure they're clean. Give them a quick rinse to remove food residue before recycling. No aerosol cans, as they're considered hazardous. Glass bottles and jars. Yes, glass containers for food and drinks are recyclable, but wash them out first. Keep the lids on after rinsing, but no mirrors, window glass, or ceramics, as they don't break down the same way. Plastics. It depends. Plastic bottles, jugs, and containers? Yes. But plastic bags, takeout containers, and prescription bottles? Nope. Instead, take plastic bags to a grocery store drop-off Or better yet, bring your own reusable bags when you shop. We only accept plastic bottles and containers numbered 1 to 5 and 7. Check the recycling symbol before dropping them off. Milk cartons, juice boxes, and broth cartons are recyclable, but remember to remove the straws first and rinse them out before recycling. Important recycling reminders. Avoid contamination. All recycling materials must be properly cleaned. Even a small amount of food or drink residue can spoil an entire load. Keep the caps. Bottle caps can be left on glass and plastic containers. No grocery bags. Do not put recyclables in plastic grocery bags. They can't be processed properly. Beyond recycling, reduce and reuse. Recycling is great, but reducing and reusing make an even